A public reception was recently hosted at the Hopkinton Center for the Arts to welcome a new art gallery display. The display is entitled Breakaway and features the work of two formidable female artists, Bobbi Gibb and Chelsea Bradway. HCAM's Ashley Simmons was on the scene.
This work started in February of COVID, which is, I think, 2021. I just finished the front steps projects in Southborough, and I am not very good about sitting still. So I decided that I was going to put a Facebook announcement out there and ask women to come to our studio, which is this time is in Framingham at the Mill of Contemporary Art, and they came. Lots and lots and lots of people came, and it was just pretty amazing. I didn't give them any direction. I would just say come, and there was very few things. There was like a stool, a chest, a ladder. I'm trying to think. I mean, there was a couple odd things around the studio that we used, but for the most part, people brought what they wanted. And the only thing I said to the people was, come as you feel most you. Come as you feel most beautiful, most empowered, most powerful. And they did. So we would just sit and talk for a couple of minutes, and as we were talking, I would snap, and I might be like, turn a little bit more towards the light. But that was really all I did, and they all came, like, just amazing. And there was some people had groups of people come all together. They called their friends and called their families. Some people just came on their own. There's a lot of them I do know, but there's a lot of them that I don't know, which was very cool. And now I do know them, and I know their story, which is just really, really amazing. So.
The show debuted during International Women's Month at the Lotvin Family Gallery and celebrates women's empowerment.
I took away that I really enjoy photographing women, and I didn't realize. Someone actually said, "You just photograph women." I'm like, I like everyone. But I think my mom was here, and growing up with her in the 70s, she was very empowering. She left college to have me, and then went back to college when I was in grade school at Smith. And then when I was in high school, she was working on her graduate degree, and when I was in college, she was working on her PhD. So growing up as an only child right from the beginning, I was definitely empowered, and this is like this oozes my mom, even though she says that this was all me, but she really made me feel I can do anything and be anything. So what did I learn? Your question is, I learned that anyone can do anything they want to do, and everyone should feel good about themselves and empowered, and they should not let anyone tell them otherwise.
Well, I always loved to run. I mean, even as a kid, we all run. We love to run. We're running around. We're playing games. We go to the beach and we run up and down and so forth. And everybody else stopped running, but I was still running. I loved running. I just loved to run it because it gave me a sense of freedom. And I'd run with the neighborhood dogs up in the woods, and I'd run and run and run and run. And then I'd flop down and I'd look up at the trees and the beautiful sun. And I think being an artist too, I appreciated nature. And I also studied science. I studied biology and physics and math and all those things that were, in those days, my mother would say, those are useless subjects for a woman. You should take typing to have something to fall back on until you get married. This is in the 50s and early 60s. And so I was always kind of rebelling against that idea that as a woman, your opportunities were so limited, and you lived in this little box, doing endless housework and never getting to fulfill your dreams. That she had wanted to be a journalist and travel the world, and here she was, spending her days scrubbing the floor, doing dishes, and so she was unhappy. I mean, unfulfilled, and there's no reason that a woman can't have a career and follow her dreams and be married and have children. I mean, you can do the whole thing. So that's what I wanted, like broaden the horizons a bit. And so I was kind of rebelling against that. And I'd go up and run in the woods, and that's where I felt free and I felt alive. And the sun was kind of shimmering down through the trees, and I'd see a green field, and I just full of joy. And there was no other way of expressing it than like running full speed across the field. And so when first time I saw the Boston Marathon, I'd never heard of it growing up. In 1964, my dad and I went out to see it. And I just fell in love with it. I had never seen people running before. And it was something that harked back to like something so fundamental about being human. I mean, standing on two legs and running, running together like this. So I wanted to be part of it, and it was totally irrational, way outside the social norm.
This is a cool thing. So I got the idea for this from Camilla Rainville. Her poem is Be a Lady, they said. And why am I blinking on her name? The woman from Sex and the City read it. I think it was like on YouTube, and I watched the YouTube, and I was like Miranda, whatever Miranda's name is, I'm blanking. She read it, and it was so powerful. And it was all about, you can't wear a short skirt, you can't do this. A lot of can'ts, can't. And I was like, well, bleep that. You can. And that's where it came from. Again, COVID being just a lot of time on hands. I mean, I did still teach. That was still a thing that we were doing, but we also had more time because we weren't going to school. We were doing it through Zoom, so yes, that's where it came from.
And do you have any message for young women wanting to do something?
Yeah, I say you can reach for the stars. There is no ceiling. Like, Bobbi Gibb, break that glass ceiling, do what it is that you want to do. And if you don't feel like you can do it alone, grab your women or your girls or your ladies or your people, whoever it is, men. I have nothing against men. I married one. I have a son. That's what I would say. I'd say do it. Just do it. Forget what other people have to say and just do it.